All right, so look, the title should actually say how I do a water change on my 75-gallon tank with rare Central American cichlids without using a gravel vac, plus doing a rescape, plus adding new fish. But nobody wants to read that as a title.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
What is up, all you illmatic, stone cold, spunkin' monkey, King Kongs of aquariums? You watch the Aquafunk Aquatics with me, Aquafunk. Now, I am going to do a very large water change on my 75-gallon Central American cichlid tank. But here's the thing. These gravel vacs, while they are great things to use, I've developed a different way of changing water without doing the traditional. Let me break down this tank, all the features, because it does have features of this tank, and then I'm going to show you how I do my water change. And like I said, I am going to be doing a rescape because I do want to add new fish. And the trauma of adding new water and rescaping the tank would be the best time. Well, actually, when the water level is low is the best time to rescape, and when you rescape is the best time to add new fish. So I'm gonna do all that today. You see this tube right here? This tube goes all the way down. It acts like one of those lift tubes for the, but it doesn't. It goes all the way down. You know what? I just realized a lot of you guys may not know what a under gravel filter is. It's real simple. It's a plastic plate with holes in it, and the gravel goes on top of it. Now this plastic plate has a lift tube, which is that tube right there with air, and as the air rises it forces the water to go through the gravel, so it's using the gravel as the filter. You should look into it. It's very cheap. It's very cheap and low maintenance. All you have to do is gravel that. Well, at least that's all you had to do at one point. I'm doing something a little different. This lift tube right here, it goes all the way down and it connects to the under gravel plate. And what I do is I just put my hose in there like this. So in all actuality, I don't even have to do just a regular water change, just water change. I don't even have to take the lid off of the tank, you know, if I'm just changing water. And then now I do use the pumpy thing, and if you, I don't know if you can see the little, let me see if you get closer. Yeah, you see the dirt coming out? Look at that dirt coming out. Let me get right here. Now all that dirt is being sucked from the gravel. Look at that. I just realized I never scrubbed the algae. You want to get the algae off first so it can you can get rid of it with the water that you're taking out as you're doing your water change.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
You have algae growing at the front, like where the gravel meets the glass. That's normal. That's almost pretty much every time ambient light, which means light from the room. If it was a uniform across the whole tank, then I would say you're keeping your lights on too long. But if it's at the front, like I had it, that's light from it. I always tell her to keep the lights off. Hey, you need to keep the ding dong light off. Don't make me tell you again. The hope is that when I rescape it and add the fish while the water is low and the lights are off, all that drama going on in their environment, when I add new fish, they're not gonna notice. Or if they do notice, they're gonna when the lights turn on, they're gonna think they're in a new environment, a new habitat, and not be so territorial. At least that's the plan. Doing large water changes are not normally advisable, and the reason why is because you throw off your balance, especially in your beneficial bacteria. If you clean everything, all your filters and all. But the reason why I'm able to get away with this is because I have so much biological filtration, because it's an under gravel filter, and I have those two canister filters, there's so much beneficial bacteria that it can handle large fluctuations and that come with large water changes. So if you have average filtration, I wouldn't really recommend doing a large water change. 25% once a week, 1/3 once a week is cool, but the only reason why I can get away with this is because I have so much biological filtration in it. The trick in using a under gravel filter is only use floating pellets as food. Under gravel filters work on the concept of water being drawn downward and then up and out the lift tubes, right? So if you put stuff in there like flakes or now I'm not saying you can't feed live food, but you want to do it slowly to make sure that the food doesn't get to the bottom, because this food, as soon as it hits the water, it's being drugged down into the rocks and in the crevices where it can actually do harm to your tank. So if you want to use under gravel filters, which I always will suggest, if somebody asks me should I say yes, unless you're breeding fish, because the fry will get sucked down in it too. But if you have a community tank, you have a display tank, and you're looking for cheap and a really great source of beneficial bacteria, I say go use floating pellets. That way the food will not get drugged down into the gravel and rot and just be sucked into the circulation. You know what I'm saying? I do have 2 electric blue crayfish. And the reason why I went with the electric blue crayfish is because they're really good at getting up in nooks and crannies. As far as the those internal filters go, it's just a power head that connects to these chambers, and in the chambers there are sponge filters, and so easy. I put them all in a bucket. I put all of them in a bucket. I have 6 in total. I get me some water in there now. I use dechlorinated water. I'm taking the water out of the tank anyway, so I might as well use that water. And all you got to do to clean it. Now this goes for the same if you have a sponge filter. Same thing. All you got to do is put it in the water, squish it, squish it, squish it, squish it.
Yeah, a little creepy.
Until a lot of that stuff comes off. Look, you're not gonna get it 100% clean. Nor do you want it 100% clean, because you want that funk in there to clean up that nastiness out your water, the beneficial bacteria, right? So, you ain't got to go crazy with it. Good. These are the fish I'm putting in there. I got me a rainbow cichlid and 2 fire mouse. Now, these are male fire mouse. In this tank when I first set up, there was a very large female, but she got murdered. So like I said, there was a lot of turmoil. But he also, this little, I believe this is a female. Oh no, it could be a male. Looks like he had his dorsal fin looks like it has some kind of. At any rate, he got beat up by the same fish that murdered the bigger female. Them two. I have other fire mouse, yellow fire mouse. They're yellow. Now they're not the same as they're in the same family, but they are not as aggressive as the fire mouse you traditionally know of. But these are incredible looking fish. I'm gonna show you a picture of what they look when they get big. But he healed up. I had to put him in quarantine. He got better. He's got a little bit of blotchiness in the new scales, but he's all right. He's all right. Now, when it comes to filling the tank, I just get a water hose from the outside spigot because it's just easier for me to do it like that. And I use Prime. Now, if you use Prime as a dechlorinator, because the water coming from the tap, if you have municipal water source, does have chlorines and heavy metals in it, you need to use some kind of additive to remove that from the water. So you don't have to get crazy. Just pour it in water, fill your tank. You're good. All right, so it's done. It's full. The fish are added. The tank has been rescaped. I'm not 100% in love with it. I'm not really feeling this big old rock being here, but I had it in the middle. I wasn't liking that. And crazy legs. Big old crazy legs right there. Now, at this point, because I added new fish and because I did a big old water change and I rescaped the tank, I can sit back and watch the action. These fish are going to go at it for a little bit. I do like the fact that I cleared the center out so you get more of that shine from that backlighting. But this tank is going to go through a little who's who as far as fish go for a couple days. They're gonna decide on what's what. I gotta watch them, make sure they don't attack the fish that I add. I don't really think I'm gonna have much of an issue, but that's always a possibility. The fact that I rescaped it just helped me out some.
I was inverted. Think your name's gonna be on that plaque? Yes, sir.
You see the little electric blue crayfish right there, my electric blue Jack Dempsey, who I'm loving, and that right there is the yellow firemouth. He's gonna come out to be a stunner. He really is. My Melanora, my Vieja Melanora right there. Like I said, I don't know. I wish I could keep her, but she's just gonna get too big at the end of the day. This is what it is. This is my rescape and my 75-gallon set. And you can see the catfish back there. You see him? Now, I really like the rocks on this. And one of the reasons why I went with these rocks is because all these fish right here are notorious for taking small pebbles and sand and moving them. So I went with a bigger rock so that doesn't happen. And they haven't messed with it, especially since I was using underground filter. I had to make sure that the substrate stayed intact. So that's why I went with those bigger rocks. And it's been working out. But that color makes it difficult for me to, like that white rock right there, kind of, I don't know, you tell me in the comments what you think. Let me know how you feel about this skate. At the end of the day, the purpose of this was to do a large water change, show you guys my undergravel filter water change system, and add new fish. So as far as the rescape goes, it's gonna do its job. It's gonna make all the fish think that they're in a different situations, so they won't be as territorial. And when adding new fish, I'll probably do it again. I'm thinking of doing some DIY skate decorations in there. I know when I first, babe, remember the first 90-gallon? You did that DIY, that tube decoration thing that I had in the tank. Yeah, way back like 3 years ago when I first started, might have made a decoration out of some PVC and it looked awesome, and I think I'm gonna have to go with that because I'm not feeling that rock. But that will be for another day when I add fish again.